Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's the 27th of December, and this is the Billy Think Tank with Spencer Keck coming at you live from here in Hardin County. And I am running for the 3rd District Magistrate here in Hardin County. I'd love to have your vote. Hopefully that you guys had a wonderful day out there in the sun like I did today, because the sun broke through a little bit when I went south on 65 to Franklin, went down to Dueling Grounds Distillery, had an amazing wood-fired pizza down there. That pizza, boy, it just reminded me of stuff like I used to get when my family and I lived in Italy while I was stationed on there with the Navy. Yeah, if you haven't tried it, try it. We got to go on a nice little hike too over there in Mammoth Caves National Park. Took the dogs out, hit the trails. Nothing like seeing the dogs scamper and that spring-like weather to make you happy to be a Kentuckian. Well, guys, thinking back to the Navy, I'm not sure if you saw the news, but the Chinese Navy is now surrounding Taiwan, and looks like they could be ready to invade that country any moment. Now, what are we going to do? That's one of our main allies in the Pacific, and we need them as a bulwark against any Chinese aggression worldwide, but especially in the Pacific. But sadly, our Navy right now is stretched pretty thin because we are running our own blockade over in Venezuela, and we've got ships in the Caribbean. We've got ships over in the Pacific, even though, of course, none of Venezuela reaches over in the Pacific. It's just a little bit of coastline there in the Caribbean. But we've got our ships over on that side too. We've been blowing little boats out of the water, claiming that they're Venezuela boats somehow. Like I said, even though none of Venezuela touches the Pacific side of the ocean. That being said, what are we going to do? Looks like Sleepy Don has done it again. He is sticking us out where we can't reach out to our allies. We're bombing in Nigeria. We're about to do land invasion, according to Trump, in Venezuela. But are we going to be able to come to the aid of our friends in Taiwan? Do we have the resources to when we're stretched this thin? That's the question. As I've been thinking lately, just realizing, all this mess we've been getting into, we've got Trump all over the Epstein files, as more were released just recently. Before they forgot to redact it all, we see that Trump was doing things that we wouldn't want him doing with our daughters, and he's doing them on, properties of Epstein and his, according to the files. We also know he flew on that Lolita Express many more times than he ever let on, since he said he never did. But how do we get here? Well, looking back, remember back in the 80s, I used to watch Michael J. Fox on Family Ties as he would, he portrayed that young Republican in a family of liberals or Democrats. I used to love his character. I thought, oh yeah, that's me. I am a young Republican. I have my subscription to National Review, and just thought that I knew it all, right? I was sold on, worldwide capitalism and worldwide markets and free markets, and don't ever touch free markets at all. Keep your grubby government paws off of them. Well, how does that add up to where we are today? To where these tariffs have taken us? Because tariffs are definitely not part of a free market. Um, you can answer that according to whatever I guess you've studied and learned in economics. But the biggest thing that I learned was, oh, I thought I was a libertarian for years until I realized what an absolute mess that was. And it's that libertarian mess that has gotten us into this by blending, Republicans into religious nationalism and creating MAGA. They're Ayn Rand cultists first and foremost. If you don't know Ayn Rand, she wrote that book about, how the strong man should always come out on top and he can do whatever he wants and he can trample on whoever he wants if you're the strongest. Had another book she wrote, the title was Selfishness is a Virtue. Now, I don't know how on earth anyone can talk about Christ, Jesus Christ, and claim that selfishness is a virtue. Because that's absolutely the opposite of what he taught. Yet that is Ayn Rand's libertarianism in a nutshell. And a lot of these folks that are running the GOP, they make all of their folks and their staff read Ayn Rand. But again, the way we got here was blending this Ayn Rand libertarianism with religious nationalism, the religious right, and creating this thing called MAGA. Well, we've got to recognize now, that the belief in strong individuals trumping the rights of minorities and the rights of lower class masses is a bunch of bullshit. That's got us into this situation where rich folks think they can do whatever they want to our daughters, to our mothers, to our wives, and they can get away with it. That they're untouchable, right? This has seen the rise of Thiel and Musk and other wannabe oligarchs that are actually becoming true oligarchs through their surrogate, Trump himself. They're worse than the 1970s Republicans that Nixon was a part of. They're giving us far, far worse reputation in the world than Nixon ever did. But here we go. When are we going to see having that R by your name does not make you a man of the people? It's just the opposite. If you have an R by your name, you're saying you're a man of the trust fund babies. You're a man of the billionaires. You're either a lackey or you are one yourself, but you don't care anything about farmers. You don't care anything about the guy who punches the clock 8 o'clock in the morning, punches out again at 4:30 or 5. Nope. That 9 to 5 dude, you got nothing in common with them. But they've been selling us a line of bullshit, acting like they're all about God and guns and, they're against gays and transgenders. That's all they can ever talk about because they don't have anything to show us for real about an economy that is good for us. I don't care how many times they talk about the war on Christmas bullshit or any other culture war jargon. That's all it is. It's a fucking distraction. while they're out raping our kids and raping our economy. We're just sitting back and saying, yeah, they must be good because they've got an R by their name. They must be about America. Come on, quit drinking the Kool-Aid. Wake up. We've got to get back to a market where we can sell our Kentucky goods, our US goods around the world. We can sell them at a fair market price for the cattlemen and the farmers. And heck, folks like Maker's Mark, where they pay their people $30 an hour, $34 an hour, plus full benefits. There at that distillery, yeah, people who treat their employees that good, like Maker's Mark does, they need to be able to sell their bourbon, not just in America, but worldwide, so that those Kentucky employees can keep on receiving the full benefits that they get out there. And I can keep on helping them, but I can't do it all alone. I'm not going to drink that much bourbon. But I would love to be able to campaign for folks who have American workers' best interest at heart. And then we'll make sure that we do everything we can to open up our market again in Canada, in Europe, where they love to buy our American spirits, our bourbon, our rye. Come on, guys. Let's get back to being truly about all of America, not just the 1%. The 1%, we've been told forever, oh, their stuff will trickle down if we let them have everything they make. Really? That trickling down's just been a trickling down urine that drips down their leg after they shake off their dick. And we're supposed to sit and let it lap it up. Fuck that shit. Let's get back to taking care of America and Americans. We don't need any more of their shit trickling down their leg and dripping onto us. That's all that's been happening. If you can't see it, we're blind. We can see it because we're not stupid. We're Americans. We can see, okay, it's been far too long now that we've let this go on and on and on, believing the crap that they've told us because they have an R by their name. But we're going to stop it. We're going to look at our ballot carefully this coming elections. Make sure that people that are on our ballot are people who really deserve to be there because they really care about America. They really care about Kentucky. They really care about Hardin County. If you agree, vote for me and vote for anyone else that you can tell has Kentucky's interest in their heart, has America's interest in their heart. Vote for them. We are Kentuckians. We know that united we stand, divided we fall. We love our neighbors as ourselves. We are our brother's keeper and we're our sister's keeper. God bless your corazon. Let's head into a better new year.